Hi everyone, I'm Pranoti, host of Under the Microscope. This series is brought to you by the Real Scientists Nano team. Our goal is to provide a platform where scientists can communicate their work and interact with the public. With that in mind, every week we introduce you to a scientist working in the field of materials or nanoscience, who tweets from the Real Scientists Nano Twitter account, which is realsci_nano. Hi everyone, my name is Pranoti and I am your host of Under the Microscope podcast series. And today we have with us Alexandra Brumberg, who is a postdoctoral researcher at the University of California, Berkeley. Hi Alexandra, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Great, let's get started. So could you please explain your research to us in super simple words, please?
Yeah, so for my graduate research, I was in a chemistry department and I used light to study how electrons behave in nanoparticles. So nanoparticles are super small clusters of materials, and they're so small that basically electrons no longer behave the way they do in bulk materials. And so I was looking at how that electronic behavior varies as a function of the nanoparticle shape. But now I'm actually in a materials science department at the University of California. And what I'm looking at is how nanoparticles assemble into different arrangements when they're placed in a polymer matrix. So I'm looking at more structural properties rather than electronic properties. And in particular, what I'm looking at is using different types of external stimuli, so things like magnets or sound waves, to influence the nanoparticle organization in that polymer in order to create different types of materials with different nanoparticle organizations in them. So basically, based on the way that the nanoparticles organize themselves in the polymer, you can get different material properties. So you can change basically how soft or how brittle the material is. And so that's what I'm doing.
Okay, wow, that sounds super interesting. Can I ask you a sneaky question?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite nanomaterial? Nanoparticle, nanomaterial, anything?
Yeah. I mean, I think it would just have to be the nanomaterial that I did my PhD research on, right? So the type of shape that I was working with was basically like a playing card. So like if you think of like a deck of playing cards, so they were kind of these rectangular nanoparticles. And you can make them all sorts of different thicknesses. You can make like a really thin one or a little bit thicker or a little bit thicker. And based on how thick they would be different colors. So when you shined light on them, they would emit different colors of light in response to that. And so you can make really pretty ones that kind of, glow in the dark. And that was always really fun when you got one that, would light up really, really well.
That is amazing. And which material was this?
So it was cadmium selenide.
Cadmium selenide. Okay, excellent. I hope you have a bunch of pictures or lots of colorful pictures with these different number of different thicknesses.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the nanomaterial. That sounds amazing. So other than the beautiful pictures, Alexandra, what can the followers expect in the week that you will take over the Real Scientist Nano Twitter account?
Yeah, so I think the big finale will be that I'm actually flying back to Northwestern on Friday because my PhD hooding will actually be on Sunday. And so that'll be a fun end to the week, is to see a PhD hooding. But throughout the week, I'll definitely be tweeting about my different experiences. So I think I had a really fun undergraduate research experience, and I'll be sure to talk about the role that mentorship played, I think, in that experience and the research I did there. And then, of course, my graduate experience, a little bit of the research there, and also the types of outreach that I'm involved with. So as I'll mention in the long podcast, I'm a really big fan of all the different service that I do. And so I'll definitely plug a bunch of different organizations. Mm-hmm. And then I'll talk a little bit about my postdoc research as well.
Okay, wow, that sounds like an action-packed week with an amazing finale. Cannot wait for the hooding, because I think I missed mine because it happened during the Corona time. So really looking forward to having your Real Scientist Nano. Thank you very much, Alexandra.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you for listening. This is Pranoti, host of Under the Microscope. To know more about us, visit our website, thesciencetalk.com, and follow us on Twitter at realsci_nano.